Hello there, my stamping friends. It's Jackie Bolhuis from Klompen Stampers. Today, I have a quick and easy card idea for you that you could really make for any occasion. It just depends on what greeting stamp you put on it. I am going to be making a sympathy card though. I hate making sympathy cards because we're not doing it ever for a joyous occasion. But those are the cards I think that mean more to people than any other card we send. And it seems like when we need a sympathy card, it's like, oh gosh, we need to make one right now. Well, that means all the more reason to do a quick and easy card. So what we're going to do today is focus on using some dies. There's several different stamp sets that have coordinating dies that go with them, that have dies what I like to call silhouette dies. They don't necessarily cut out a stamped image, they'll cut out a die shape that you can use, and that's what we're going to use on our sympathy cards today. Now remember, this idea really could be any kind of card. Just add whatever kind of greeting. We're just going to make it a sympathy card today. So before I flip the camera down, just a quick reminder, there will be a blog post. The link will be down in the video description. Go to the blog post, and over there you will find pictures of the card I'm going to make today, as well as I think I have 3 or 4 additional samples. I'll have pictures of all of them, along with all the measurements, because there's several layers to this card. So we'll have all the cutting measurements over there, as well as the complete list of all the different supplies. So if you'd like to make this card, make sure you use that link to go to the blog post and get all of the details. And while you're over there, if you would like to request a Stampin' Up! Catalog, just click on the tab up at the top that says Catalogs, and there you'll find the information to request a catalog. If you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator and send you a catalog and help you with all of your card making ideas and needs. So without further ado, we're here to get stamping. So let's flip this camera down and let's get to work. 1 second. Like I said, our card is going to be very simple. We just have several layers of cardstock we're going to use. So we're going to do this in stages. We are going to start, we're using very vanilla, and I've got my smallest layer here. And the words that I'm using are out of the Peaceful Moments stamp set. This is a greeting set that's been around for a while now. I was so happy to see that it's in the catalog, so it's staying for another year. But it's a great versatile one because we have happy birthday, thank you, congratulations, thinking of you, and then also our with deepest sympathy. So it works perfect no matter what kind of card you're making. Now, on our very vanilla, we're going to use some soft suede, and down here kind of towards the bottom right side, we're going to stamp with sympathy. Now that's the only stamping we're going to do because we're going to focus on some die cuts and some embossing. Now, because this card is so easy, I wanted to do a couple of things just to give it some dimension and make it look nice. So I'm going to take the Painted Texture 3D folder after I've stamped it, and I'm going to stick it in there, and we're going to emboss this. Now, just a quick reminder, we got dimensional backings. With your 3D folders, you need your platform. This is the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. The platform, our 3D folder with our cardstock in it, and then the specialty plate, which is number 4, which you can see that on here as well. Now, if you are still using the Big Shot, which Stampin' Up! Had for a long time, you have the exact same platform. So you use your platform, the 3D folder, and then you will need either the blue plate that we used to have for the Big Shot, or you also will need the specialty plate. So you can pick one of these up by your, on its own. It does come with the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, but if you've got the Big Shot, you're gonna want one of these plates because then you can do these 3D folders easy in your Big Shot as well. So let me go run that through the machine and I'll be right back. Okay, so let's take this apart, and you will see now how we've just got some nice texture on there. But remember, stamp your image first. And then, because we're keeping this just real simple and real almost neutral feeling, we're gonna go ahead and layer our very vanilla onto a piece of very vanilla. So it doesn't, I don't know how much on the camera it's picking up, but you really can see the layers, especially because we've got that texture on there. And then there's that. And then believe it or not, we're actually going to even stick this onto a very vanilla card base. So it's vanilla on vanilla on vanilla. Boy, that sounds like ice cream, doesn't it? But you can just see, super simple card, But by using all of those layers of that same color, it just really adds some dimension. Now, I said we were going to use what I like to refer to as silhouette dies. Now, I have ones from Quiet Meadow. So this coordinates with the stamp set. Some of the dies will cut out images in the stamp set, but it has a lot of these silhouette ones. And I've cut 2 already, but what I mean by silhouette is it's not a stamped image. So we're going to just cut out these die images to use on our card. So let's set the pieces aside, or our dies. Like I said, I cut that ahead of time. And what we're going to do is end up taking these 2, and I just add a little bit of that soft sea foam and then some more of that vanilla, because I want just that really soft, subtle look. Now for these 2 pieces, what I'm going to do is take a glue dot. Let's see here. I should have tore part of this off. And I'm going to take a glue dot on the one that's going to be layered kind of on the top, because I want to, I guess, kind of gently stick these together. Okay, they're not meant to really stay tight together, but just enough to hold them. And then we're going to take some linen thread. And I like to give myself a generous piece here. And I usually double it just to make it a little bit thicker. So we'll double that and cut it off. And then I am going to actually wrap this around. I like to do it upside down. I can tie bows better upside down. I think it makes the tails of the bow go the right direction. But we're going to just wrap around here. And this is pretty curly. And it gets a little tricky because you got all of these little spots. So just move it up to a place where it's going to stay. And we're going to just tie a bow. Oh, this ribbon or thread is curly. So after I tied it, then I like to just adjust these. And I like to separate them a little bit and make one of the loops a little bit longer and one a little bit shorter. And the size we want. There we go. And then after you get your bow like you want it, just trim those off. So there's our little spray of flowers. Now we're going to take some mini dimensionals. When I'm done with this, I'll show you a few other samples where I use some other silhouette dies. There's quite a few different ones, so I'm sure you probably have some that you can use to make the same card idea. Now with these, it gets a little bit tricky because I'm using the minis, but I have to find spots where they will fit without showing to the other side. And then I'm also trying to get them where they hit both pieces of that cardstock at the same time, because that'll help hold everything down on my card. We'll put one more right there. I think that looks pretty good. Use the pointed end of this take your pick to pull off these pieces. We'll put quite a few on there, didn't we? This is not going to move once we stick it down. And then we're going to take our card here and we're going to just stick that on there. So you can see how simple that was, but it's very just elegant, soft looking, which is perfect for a sympathy card. Now we're going to layer a little bit on the inside as well. Let's see, make sure we get this the right way. In that same greeting set, okay, Peaceful Moments, there's stamps that you can use for inside and outside. So I thought Thinking of You with All My Heart went really nice with that, with Deepest Sympathy. And we're going to just layer this for the inside on a piece of the soft sea foam, which is what we cut out one of our dies with on the front. Ooh, that's a little bit big, isn't it? Let's see. There we go. Had it kind of crooked. And then I'm going to stick that in the inside. Now, really, you could stamp your greeting right on the inside, but I thought because this card was just so kind of soft and simple to start with, I thought that jazzes it up a little bit by just adding some layers to the inside as well as the outside. So there is our sympathy card, but most importantly, I wanted to focus on showing you how you can use these silhouette dies that you probably have them in different die sets and just add any greeting with them. I mean, this could be anything on there. So let me show you a couple others. Now this one's made the same way, but I use some dies from the Forever Fern die set that goes, actually is called Forever Flourishing, but it goes with the Forever Fern stamp set. I know a lot of you have this one because it's been around for a while. But again, there's just some dies in here that just cut our cardstock. So there is the same, oops, I didn't stick that one in. There's our With Sympathy idea on here as well. And let's see, what else do we have? Then I pulled out the Harvest dies that coordinate with the Nature's Harvest stamp set, and I made a couple different ones here. Here's 2 Sympathy ones. Again, made the same way. Here I did basic white, and here I did the very vanilla. But you can see we have all those same layers. We stamped and then we embossed. But just by adding that texture on there and then some kind of neutral colors for our dies, it just makes a very pretty card. And then I did one more where we had a little bit of color to this one, but I used Happy Birthday instead of the With Sympathy. And then again, a stamp and some colored cardstock on the inside. But you can see it's the exact same layout for all of these cards, just using those dies that just cut out different nature shapes, silhouette dies, I like to call them. So I hope you like this idea and that it inspires you to pull out some of these dies. I use 3 different die sets here, but I just kind of look through my dies to find where I had dies that would work for this. And then I made the same card just using a variety of them. I hope you like this idea and that you give it a try as well. So if you have any questions, as always, please reach out to us. I am here to help you any way I can, answer your questions, and help you place a Stampin' Up! Order if you'd like to order any of the products. Don't forget to hop over to my blog and you'll find pictures and all of my cutting measurements and list of supplies there. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back again real soon. Have a stamp happy day.